Tiger fans, thanks for tuning in for another week here at Inside Tiger Athletics. And we start today with Bentonville football. The team returned from Shreveport this week with another tough loss under its belt. The #1 ranked Aledo, Texas Bearcats handed the Tigers their third loss this season with a 51-14 win Saturday. I talked to Coach Grant about what he thought of the Independence Bowl. Coach, it was obviously a little bit of a disappointing loss this weekend against Aledo. What are the takeaways from the game?
I think anytime you're in a game like that where, truthfully, they got after us pretty good from the start, I think you got to find positives in that. Coaches and kids will both beat themselves over a loss like that. We'll beat ourselves up over that, and you got to find something. You got to pull positives. So that's been the focus of what we did. That's what we did at halftime. That's what we did after the game. That's what we did in the film room on Monday. There were some good things. One of the issues that we had concerns with all the first two games was penalties. We had 12 in the first game, 11 in the second game. We just had 1 in this game. So there was a positive there. I thought we did some decent things at times. It's just the consistency is still not there. A lot of that had to do with the opponent. Aledo is a top-level program, probably as good as I've seen since I've been here. Just guys all over the field and a very well coached. I was glad we got the opportunity to play them. I would have hoped that we would have played a little better, but we didn't, and so it was just one of those deals where we put our kids in situations where we had to defend a short field and turn the ball over, and just we'll get that stuff fixed.
So other than penalties, what did you see improve from last week's game?
Well, I thought we, truthfully, it's hard to pull a whole lot of positives out of that, but we did do some good things. Our guys are still playing hard. I thought we played pretty good in the secondary at times and tackled better at times in the secondary. Overall, our tackling was not great. A lot of that had to do with us, but a lot of that had to do with just tackling a phenomenal back. I think there's certain position groups that you can look at. I still think we're doing some good things. I think we gave Colby Reed an opportunity to carry the ball he hadn't had, and we were pleased with what he did as another threat with the ball in his hands. I still think Harrison Campbell's doing some good things. We just got to continue to find the right people and the right mesh of things, and trust our reads and trust what we're being taught throughout the week. That'll happen in the game for us. And I think just the inexperience is showing up, and that's time for that to go away. I mean, they've played 3 games, and it's time to eliminate all the question marks and just start playing.
And like you said, Aledo is a good team. I think they're seeded first in the 5A in the state of Texas. They've got a whole senior team, and they even have the Oklahoma commit. How are playing teams like this, these really, really good teams, how is that improving our Tiger squad?
Well, I think it makes you better. Anytime you play a high-level team like that, it makes you better. When you watch film of your next opponent after you see them, and it almost like it, I don't want to say it slows down, but it feels like that on film for these kids. They're like, oh, I've just saw this guy, and now this guy, and so, I think that's why we do what we do. Now we're showing film of our conference opponents, and our conference opponents are good, but even they would say they're no Aledo, Texas, and they're no, and obviously Midwest City and Conway are top-level opponents as well, and they're going to win a lot of football games. So the good news is our kids, they're not throwing in the towel. They understand the process. They're about the only ones that understand the process. They, when you're 0-3 and you're a Bentonville Tiger, a lot of people are thinking it's over. It's like they're as they say, they're jumping off the bandwagon, and I tell our kids, that's part of the process. Just stick together as a unit, and they'll all jump back on as we start playing again and getting some wins.
And kind of a similar start to last season, and you ended up at the state championship. So
you're right; it is a very similar start. Last year we started off 1-2. The game we won, we didn't play great for a half. Played real good in the second half. It's a process, and that's what you risk when you play top-level non-conference opponents.
And so, how was Shreveport as a whole?
Well, the trip was really a neat experience for our kids, to get to stay in a nice hotel and eat at nice places and play in a stadium that's just phenomenal. The locker room, the kids were just in awe of some of the stuff that they got to be a part of. On the wall in the locker room, you see pictures of teams like that have been there and players that have played there. They're seeing Nick Saban's picture on the wall and Roy Williams when he was with OU, and just a lot of the neat things like that. I was glad that they were able to experience.
So you've got a bye week this week. What does that look like?
It's a much-needed bye week, so we can get our kids healthy. We're a little bit banged up, and it gives us an opportunity just to recompete for spots. I think you have to give kids a chance that haven't got a chance, and this is the week for that. And Some kids get their feelings hurt in that deal, but you got to want to be pressed. You got to have to go earn your spot each and every week. And so we've kind of done that this week. We've focused, it's been on us. I think that's how we're going to use this bye week. It's not necessarily prepare for an opponent, but just work on getting better individually and as a unit.
Well, enjoy your week of rest, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
Well, there was a comeback on the court Tuesday night as Lady Tiger volleyball team topped Fayetteville here in Tiger Arena. The Bulldogs had game point not once but twice that evening, only to have Bentonville rally both times and claim a 3-1 victory during conference play. After coming from behind in the first game and tying it up at 24-all with a block from Maddie Breed, Savannah Riney smashed an ace to claim the first set for the Tigers. Game 4 was much the same story, but just as exciting. The Tigers closed a 5-point gap, then Riney again delivered a kill that forced a 24-all tie. Taylor Shapley's kill put Bentonville ahead before teammates Riley Robb and Isabel Santone joined forces for the block that won the final match. Bentonville head coach Michelle Smith said she is proud of the maturity her younger players showed to come back not once but twice in the same night. Bentonville improves to 6-9 overall and 3-1 in conference. Now off the court, here's an update on your Tiger cross-country teams. Both JV and varsity won the Memphis Twilight Meet 2 weeks ago with top runners Carter Qua and Lucas Pabst. Last week at the Elkins Invitational, the girls brought home a W while JV was runner-up. The teams are gearing up to run at Missouri Southern State University in Siloam Springs on Saturday. Then it's on to the annual Chili Pepper Meet down in Fayetteville. We caught up with Evan Espinoza to get the rundown on the team. So Evan, give us some insight on how cross-country training is going right now.
It's going pretty good. We're getting ready for some meets. We're about to go out and run MSSU, so we're training for that, getting a couple workouts in, getting our feet back under us and getting ready for that.
What does a typical day look like for you on the team?
It starts out with a workout usually, and then we'll recover in ice and rest up only to work out again. And then later in the week we'll recover and get our feet back under us and run the meet.
How many miles a week do you average?
Average is probably about 50-55, with some of the faster guys going about 60 to 65 miles a week.
Wow. So you just started your season. Have you all met expectations? Did you have expectations for yourselves?
So we're just trying to get ourselves up in the rankings, get us known for state and those kind of meets. And when we went to Memphis, we did that, got the win in both varsity and JV. In the same week, Shiloh, we got runner-up with our other team, so that was good. And then we went to Elkins and just got runner-up while resting some of our faster guys. So we're getting ourselves out there and getting ready for state.
As a team, do you do any kind of bonding?
Every day you're bonding, when you're running with each other for about an hour, so that's pretty bonding. But yeah, we go on dinners before meets and stuff. So we're pretty close-knit.
And what meet are you most excited for, would you say?
Definitely probably state. That's what it all comes down to. Looking to get that second Triple Crown, so that's exciting.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck this season. That's a wrap for us here week 4 at Inside Tiger Athletics. Next week we'll have more on track and cross country, and we'll talk hosting the Gulf State Tournament. Be sure to tune in. We'll see you then.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.